Here's a quick video on how to set up and configure a OmniKey card reader. First of all, go to the post-sales support SharePoint and pick up those 4 files. The first one is the driver, which the computer needs for the card reader to be able to write to it. The second one is a bunch of config files. The third's the plugin that the copier needs, and the fourth is firmware for the card reader. So once you've downloaded those, you can come in here, unzip them, and run the installer for the driver. Choose 64 or 32-bit and just click OK. It is just a bouncing ball type install. Once you've done that, you can drop out of that, open a web page, type in and plug your card reader into the USB port, of course, and type in 192.168.63.99. Give it a few seconds, hit enter, and you've got the interface page for the card reader. So now that you've got that, if this was a brand new card reader and you were going to set it up for the first time, you'd check the firmware version, which is right there, which this just happens to be the current one. You would go to keyboard wedge mode, tick the keyboard wedge tick, and go to system config and apply changes. If we were going to update the firmware, it's just a matter of clicking in the line there, going in, picking up the firmware, click update firmware. Now it has a upload percentage down in the bottom left corner. It does take a little while, and then eventually you'll get a pop-up with an OK button up in the top. Click OK. The card reader will, the light will go red and it'll disconnect itself and reconnect itself. So effectively doing a reboot. When the light comes back green and you get the USB acknowledging that it's back on, it's now green, you're right to go, and the window will refresh. Okay, it's right to go. So if we were going to put a plug-in in, the not a plug-in, if we were going to put a config in, so we can determine what kind of cards the customer has, and that we'd go to system config, click in the upload config spot, go and find our config. So the check card type one is for determining what kind of card your customer has. So you get a choice of binary, decimal or hex. So we're going to choose decimal, upload config. OK. And now that it's redone, we can now lay a fob or card on the card reader, and you'll see it flashes up that it's a MyFair Classic and what its number is, and there's no PACS information. So that's the decimal number you would get from this fob with a stock configuration. Now that you've done that, and you want to, if you want to build your own config, you go back to keyboard wedge mode So we know it's a MyFair Classic, so we go and find MyFair Classic. It's looking for the CSN number and the PACS number, but on this case it didn't have anything. Then if you click on card data manipulation, from here you can choose whether it's decimal, binary, hex, BCD, whatever you want. So if you need to build a config because the current ones we've got don't work, it's just as easy as doing that. You can put in extra leading characters if you need to, so all you need to do is tick the box of if you want to do some filtering to remove characters or whatever, so that you can get the number exactly as the customer's got. Sometimes using the reverse byte order will help you find it. It's a little bit of trial and error to find out what it is that you need to do. So once you've done that and made that all up, you would go to System Config, apply changes, test the card reader. If it's good, you can go to Export Config, keep it and name it, and then you've got a config for that customer. It's probably better that we use a generic config when we can, and there's a couple of those there. There's a generic FX one and a generic Viatec one. So once again we can go upload config, and use the Viatec generic one, upload, OK. Then just to test this one, so it's obviously the Viatec default one is in hexadecimal, but now you can see it only just reads one scan of the fob. I hope that helps you configure your card readers a bit more easily. So you can remove different types of card readers and add them in. So if you need iClass, add it in, choose, and then go back into the wedge, keyboard wedge, card manipulation, card data, sorry, change it to the card type that you want to edit. I think it was iClass, card manipulation. Once again, it's currently hex. You could set that to decimal, test it, see what message, see what number you get out if it's what the customer wants. If the customer hasn't got any records and really doesn't care, none of this really matters. You just, as I said, just put in the default config and away you go. It's only if they've got current card readers and they need to match the same number, so that PaperCut will work across the whole range of machines and card readers. Well, thanks for listening.